the deck that I plan on this is the deck I plan on playing in paper. Yo. What's up, everybody? This is Average Planeswalker, and today we are here with new Duskmourn cards. We're here with new decks. I gotta build it. I have a few brews in my head. I gotta build a couple more, but this is like the deck that I plan on this is the deck I plan on playing in paper. Yo, I don't know what that was. Anyway, Um, before we get into it real quick, just go check out my website, ronin-tcg.com. It's the trading card game I've been working on. It's in production and everything. I got decks and all that stuff. I really appreciate if y'all check it out, give me feedback on it. And you can check out my YouTube channel for the game as well. I put out a how to make your own trading card game video just recently, like a week ago. And then there's how to play on there as well. So I'll leave a link in that in the description. Okay, so let's get to the deck. This is four color Little Shop of Horrors. Now, if you're an old head like me, um, you're gonna know Little Shop of Horrors is a great classic '80s film, based off of a either a story or a play, if I remember right, from like even further back. But anyway, it's with Rick Moranis and a bunch of other actors and actresses that I just can't remember. I almost said Harvey. Uh, oh, I cannot remember him. He's in Three Amigos. Steve Martin. Steve Martin's in there as well. It's an amazing movie. It's a classic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's amazing. But the name of the movie is called Little Shop of Horrors. So this deck is called Little Shop of Horrors. So that's the backstory on that. Okay, let's get into the deck tech. All right, we are back with Beanstalk. Why? Because we're playing all the avatars, with the exception of two. So we're not playing all of them. But yeah, we're playing the avatars, and the thing about them is that when you cast them for impending, you trigger the beanstalk. So beanstalk is like especially really good in this deck. So we're gonna be drawing cards like crazy. We got four ancient cornucopia because there's so much aggro you want to be able to gain that life, even if it's one. That one could make the difference between you winning and losing. We're running two Ren and Six specifically for the static ability, not Ren and Six, Ren and Realm Breaker, specifically for the static ability of land you control have add one mana of any color. It doesn't give us domain like we want, but then we still have chromatic lands essentially. So which is really good. And then we could just -2 to mill and then plus to keep it alive, keep her alive. The other thing too that's really good about Ren is that it's a fog. Like that's seriously what it is. So sometimes you just drop it if you want to negate about 4 to 5 damage um, to your face, and that'll give you like an extra turn to go ahead and do whatever else you wanted to do. So we're playing Realm Breaker for that reason. Three drag to the bottom. I did have four, but since we have four Leyline Binding in here, and and we have other cards in here, three is good. We are rocking four full playset Leyline Guild Pack. Um, you need the card, but at the same time the deck works without it too. So, but this is what allows us to survive against aggro a lot of the times because when you have one Ancient Cornucopia out, you gain 5 life. If you have two Ancient Cornucopias out, you gain 10 life, and you just see how that keeps going. So mid-late game, you're gaining 5, 10, 15, 20 life off of one Leyline of the Guild Pack. So it's really good. Meat Hook Massacre, OP. I know Meat Hook Massacre 1 was kind of looked down upon as like it's not that great, and then it blew up and got banned. I have a feeling there's a possibility this will get banned as well. This card is ridiculously good. And hopefully it can capture some games where you're gonna see that. It gets dumb real quick. But we usually play it either for X being 1 or X being 0. When you play for X being 0, it's just a threat on the board. It stops people from wanting to block. It stops people from wanting to go for the throat your stuff. It stops people from wanting to just board wipe. Like it's a threat. Um, so when it enters, each player sacrifices X creatures, and whenever a creature you control dies, you may pay 3 life. If you do, you return that card under your control with a finality counter on it. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, they may pay 3 life. If they don't, you return that card under our control with a finality counter on it. So either way, like life's going to be paid, but since you're gaining so much life off a cornucopia, it's not that big of a deal. And like I said, we are rocking 3 of the 5 new Avatar horrors. So rocking the blue one because we just get to draw 2 cards. Not much needs to be said about these horror cards because they're just self-explanatory, amazing. They're the new Titans, but better. Um, and then you really want it. We're going heavy on green because we want to make sure we hit this turn 3, turn 4, because then we unlock domain immediately with the nowhere land or with the everywhere land. Overload, Overlord of the Mistmoors is it's a bonkers card as everybody thought it would be, and you're hard casting it a lot of times too. So yeah, so those are our 3 horrors that we're playing. Leyline Binding. We're playing 1 Chimmel in the main. Because being able to just at the end of turn throw one of these on the board, ETB trigger, it's just like backbreaking. And not only that, when you meet hook and they board wipe, if it's not a sunfall and it's some sort of split up or other type of board wipe, you're gonna be getting those back. You pay the 3 life, you get the ETB, and then it just gets dumb all the time. Obviously we're running 2 Troxa, and we have 1 Valgavoth. This is an interchangeable card. I think I've played it maybe twice so far. Um, Usually we don't get to the 9 mana only because we usually win before that. So this can be an interchangeable card if you don't have the card, if it's too expensive. Change that with something else. It's completely fine. But everything else in the deck is kind of needed to make the deck just explode the way it does. The worst part about this deck is the mana base. Because we are playing 4 colors, we don't have access to Triumph lands, and our multicolor land base is garbage at the moment. So this is a deck that will probably not see a lot of play from other people because it's so difficult to pilot. But that's why we are running Leon the Guild Pact and Ren the Railbreaker and Cornucopia because that gives us mana of any color. We're also rocking 2 Valgavoths. That way we can make sure we have, mostly we want to make sure we have our black or green source mana. Mainly our green, so we can, impending our Hauntwoods, play our Cornucopias, play our Wren, play our Beanstalk. But we also want the black to make sure that we can get the drag to the bottom, so we can sustain until mid-game. Once we hit mid-game, we're pretty much good. Um, Obviously, we're rocking 2 Cavern Souls. I'm rocking 2 Cavern Souls only because I have 2 in paper, so I try to play with cards that I have. Um, so you can rock this up to 3 or 4, but usually just call Angel or Avatar. It's usually all you really call. So yeah, Demolition Field. Obviously, we need to have those. We got our Surveil lands and all that good stuff. Let's move on to the sideboard. We have some counter magic in here. We're running 2 3 steps ahead, 2 negates, 2 Terra Sunder, 2 Ghostly Dancers. I'll get to that in a second. 1 Ghost Vacuum. I want to put 2 in here, but I don't have anything else to really take out, so we're rocking just 1 at the moment. 2 Defabricate because people playing Planeswalkers, you have a ton of ETBs all over the place, and you want to be able to stop that. Plus, you have other artifacts and enchantments that you want to counter as well. So this is just very versatile in that aspect. 2 more Chimmel of the Inner Suns, because we want to make sure that if we're going against counter magic, whether it be mono blue or Dimir, we want to make sure that we have extra Chimmels to make sure that our stuff cannot be countered. Now, back to Ghostly Dancers. It's a 5-drop flying 2/5, highly underrated rare, but I could see why. That's why it's in the sideboard. When it enters, you return an enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand or unlock a locked door of a room you control. So when this ETBs, we can grab back any one of our overlords from the graveyard. We can grab back a meat hook. We can grab back a ley line. We can grab back a, did it say artifact? I don't remember. Enchantment. No. So we can get a beanstalk. So you have a lot of targets in the graveyard that you can get with Ghostly Dancers. Okay. But let's go through the other part. Eerie. Whenever enchantment you control enters and whenever you fully unlock a room, create a 3/1 white spirit creature token with flying. So whenever we play any of our overlords, we trigger the Ghostly Dancers and get a 3/1. So we're just creating more creatures over time, which is really good. And also, keep in mind that when you have a token creature die with Meat Hook, don't pay the 3. That thing's gone because tokens go to exile. So you're not getting that back. So just keep that in mind. Um, okay. The other reason why we're playing Ghostly Dancers, Restricted Office and Lecture Hall. So Restricted Office is when you don't have much on the board, and you've impending like 2 or 3 different overlords, you can restrict it off and get rid of Shieldrids. You can get rid of a bunch of other threats that are on the board because it destroys all creatures with power 3 or greater. And this is a 4-drop board wipe. Okay. Lecture Hall is the other half we want. Other permanents you control have hexproof. And there was one game I played where they just could not do anything because everything had hexproof, with the exception of this enchantment. So we blow up the board, and then on the next turn, turn 5, we play Ghostly Dancers, and instead of returning a creature from or enchantment from our graveyard, we unlock the Lecture Hall, and that gives us our hexproof on everything else. So that's why we have that 2-card combo in the sideboard, because it's more relevant than a lot of people think. And and sometimes you could just play the Lecture Hall for 7. Like I know they've bounced Lecture Hall back because they couldn't destroy it. So then I just played it again the next turn. I didn't care. I had a board state and I just kept going. So yeah, so this is the deck, Low Shop of Horrors. Let's get to some games. All right, so we get to play first, which is good. Kind of want to keep this because we have a cornucopia. Then we could play the Realm Breaker as well. See if we can surveil. We'll keep that. Looks like we'll be in good standing here. Crack the Passage. I think we need a white source. Just in case we get Leyline Binding. I mean, with because yeah, if we get the Leyline Binding with Hauntwoods, then we have Domain. Make a 1/1. Let's go this. Because the next turn we could hard cast this. And we'll gain a life. Toy Shop. Go 1/1. Gain a life. Make a everywhere. And then if they go wide real hard this turn, then we still have drag to the bottom, which is really good. And then next turn we get to play Chimmel. So that's also a plus. We need to make sure we go hard on green. I made a couple of changes where I added in the Mana Dork, the 2-drop Mana Dork, just a 2 of. And then like it gets a counter every time you use it, and then you remove counters and it creates spiders. So I just wanted to see how that would do. Otherwise we have 2 slots we can kind of fix for the deck. Sure, we'll block. If they want to take that out, that's fine. Um, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's just do Chimmel. Block with the 1/1. I think we're pretty far ahead on this. Play another cornucopia, gain life. See what our opponent does. They didn't really have an explosive start, unless this is just a different version of like Rabbit aggro or Selesnya aggro. I mean, got a lot of card draw. Drop this Surveil. Throw that in the bin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we do it for 2, they just get rid of 2 tokens. I'm thinking about Meat Hook here. Um, if they heroic block with 1, then we can Meat Hook. There we go. So now with priority and triggers on the stack, we'll have to see how that goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll do this. Gain 2 life. We're gonna pay the 3 to get back our Haunt Woods. That's so good. So good. Okay, so that goes on the stack first. Okay, so that's for the token. We don't get to get that back, which is unfortunate, but we got rid of that creature, so that's fine. We do get a Beanstalk, and then we got our Hauntwoods back. Draw a card. So, like, I usually don't play Atroxa until I need to either A, refill my hand, or gain some life. Otherwise, it's just a late game bomb. Um, or unless it's the only thing I have to play, you know? I don't always want to throw it out. I'd rather throw all these Overlords out because you get so much value out of them, and there's a huge threat on the board. And then the following turn, you get more value out of it. So the value train on these Overlords is just so much more. They're much better in my eyes than just a one-time Atroxa, and then she dies. And then I like having the Atroxa for backup too. Okay, so we're just gonna swing in, and then we're gonna drag to the bottom. Spelunking, I might try Spelunking, but at the same time, I feel like there's really no need for it. So let's swing in first. Making everywhere. These everywhere lands are just phenomenal. Yep, we get in. And then we're going to trigger the meat hook with this too. Gain 2 life. And at the end of turn, we have a Chimmel trigger. Like, it's just disgusting. This is gross. Yep. So we don't pay anything for tokens. So ooh, we almost hit end turn. Oh, finality counter on it. That's fine. Okay, so now hard cast this. Beanstalk, we can draw 3 cards since Overlord gives us 2. Like Overlords and Beanstalk is the best draw engine in the game now for standard. Let's see. Let's get rid of. We can get rid of a guild pack. Uh, I want to. So with guild pack, we can gain 10 life. There's 4 in the deck. I'll get rid of 1. It's fine. I'll put that in hand. I wanted to keep the drag to the bottom because of Meat Hook. Um, but I didn't think I didn't know we'd draw into another drag with Chimmel. So 3 rabbits. Draw 2. So for game 2, we're going to bring in uh defabricates, um, possibly negates, and definitely Terra Sunders. Defabricate, Terra Sunder. We could take out the Chimmel. Not worried about getting countered. Do I want the negate? Hmm. Hmm. Drop 1 cornucopia. Drop a Ren. So the Twitching Doll, that's what we added in. We added 2 Twitching Dolls just to see if we can get it turn 2. Kind of competes with up the Beanstalk, but it also gives us 2 extra cards that we could possibly draw into to have a play for turn 2. Because if we can get a ley line on turn 1 or turn 0, then we have our turn 1 play with Leyline Binding. We'd have a turn 2 play with either Beanstalk or Twitching Doll. So, like I said, I'm testing that out. I might end up taking it out because it hasn't done anything yet. So, I need to take out one card. Just take out one Meat Hook. Take out the other red. That's fine. I'm gonna choose to go first. We'll mulligan this. No, because we do get Twitching Dolls. We'll keep this. Let's try it. We get to try out the Twitching Dolls. Probably bad hand to keep, but we get to try out the Twitching Dolls. So we'll sack this, get a forest. It's 2/2. So if they need to play something for this Might Collar to grow, and that'll do it. Sure, that's fine. I don't want to risk blocking the 1/1. I wasn't sure if they'd have something for it. So okay. So if we put the blue source down, that gives us 2 domain. And if we put the underground mortuary, they still gives us 2 domain. But if we put the blue source down, we can keep our blocker. Play the cornucopia. Trying to figure out how I want to do this. We'll pass, leaving up mana for defabricate. Hmm. Swinging with 1, huh? Okay, yeah, we won't block that. Not tripping over that. It's a bit weird though. Unless they just didn't want their Might Collar to die. That's probably what it was. We still have defabricate, which is good. Oh, and that's why we have it. And we gain a life. Pro plays! Just kidding. Alright, so 3, 4, 5. Alright, let's do this. Crack. Get a white source. 2, 3. That gives 2 blue still. We can still hard cast this. We'll get rid of one of the mortuaries. Ooh, we got a meat hook. So like this twitching doll has just kind of been a it hasn't been a mana dork for us. It's just been a blocker. Like a blocking threat. So I don't know. If you have any ideas what this 2-card slot can be, let me know. I don't want to put 4 up the Beanstalks because there's just so much draw in this deck between Overlord of the Flood Pits and Beanstalk. I've almost decked myself twice. So I don't want to do that. Um, so 3 Beanstalks is pretty good. It's good enough. And then, yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out what else to do. 4, 5. Let's do this. Ooh, there's a drag. That's good. Let's play another one. Gain a life, and then we'll put a stop on their upkeep. Let's swing in. rid of the marsh. We could play the Haunt Woods, and that would give us everywhere, but then we couldn't Leyline Binding. So we're just gonna wait to Leyline Binding this, gain a life. Oh, we could Leyline Binding with Twitching Doll. That's what it was. Sure. I don't want you drawing any more cards. Oh, graveyards? Okay. That means Meat Hook is pretty much done until I get a Tear Asunder. Sure. Yeah, we're not going to block. I'm not worried about it. 7 damage. It's fine. All right. So we need to find a Terra Sunder before we put the Massacre out. So let's swing in, draw 2 cards. Oh, man. Then I think we just get rid of Massacre. Beanstalk will give us more cards to draw. Ugh. This is a tough one. Yeah, we'll do this because we're just going to board wipe. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to play Hauntwoods after this. We're going to do Beanstalk first and then Hauntwood. Crack Passage. We'll take a force, sure. Play this. Gain a life. Draw a card. Hard cast. Draw 2. Now the game's pretty much over. Okay. I'm gonna swing in first. See what they do. Oh, they're gonna take it? Damn. Gain a life, draw 2. Put out 3 creatures. We get another drag to the bottom and another Mistmoors. And then we can still impending drawing 4 cards. Pretty gross. Get rid of this. The thing about aggro decks is like if you have to get your opponent in like the first 3 turns, you have to get them to about 6 to 5 life by the first 3 turns. If you don't, you probably won't be able to make it. Sure. We'll just heroic block, and take foe for show. Yeah. So we are game 2, best of 3, 4 color Little Shop of Horrors, horror avatar deck. We just added Elish Norn. We took out the little spider doll, and then we added in 2 Surge of Protection to give our permanence hexproof like early on. We'll keep this with Forest. Um, the Elish we just put in there, Elish Norn, which will give us double triggers. So I'm wondering if we can actually just run like two beanstalks at that point. It'd probably take cornucopia. Oh, okay, cool. There's that swamp we needed. Um, let's go ahead and do another cornucopia. Gain life. Let's throw out Ren, and we'll plus Ren. So my train of thought is if they have another bat, they have to choose between one or the other, between a drag to the bottom or a leyline. And then whatever they put out, we're just gonna drag to the bottom. Okay, yeah, so I feel a little bit better about that. Dude, this card is cracked. Sheltered by Ghosts for 2 mana? That's ridiculous. Okay, so we need. Oh, that's a 5. She's at 5 now. Hmm. We need a plains. One, two, three. That'd be 4. What's the ward? Pay 3 life. That's not bad. So let's see. Can we do this still? We need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have 3. Yeah, we can still do this. Okay. Yeah. I had to math my land. Sorry about that. Sometimes I math wrong, so I was like, oh my god, can I do it? We'll get rid of this. It's plus 0. And then we'll just go ahead and get rid of those. We get our ley line back. We only have 1 card in hand, but we do have Ren, so we can -2. And mill 3 cards and put a permanent back into our hand. So essentially it's kind of a draw. Oh, he wants that ley line out my hand, huh? Okay. So let's -2. Ooh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Let's take Meat Hook. Pay 0. Gain 2 life. Yep. Play this. Pass. They play the bat, then we just ley line. Sure. Gain 2 life. Being able to put Meat Hook Masker out just for 0 is just really, really good. Beanstalk, always good. Do I want to swing? Sure. Gain 2 life, draw a card. I usually keep a land in hand, but I wanted to see what we were going to draw into. Get him for 3. Like, I remember when Realm Breaker first came out, everybody was talking about if this +1 was able to untap the land and then give it Vigilance Hexproof, it'd be busted. Of course, yeah, it would be. Plus, we're not going to do anything on that. But we are going to draw a card off a bean, gain 2 life, play an Elish. We're at 23 lands and we still are like getting flooded. We're at 7 lands, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands. Ugh. Sure. Yeah, I think I kind of want to put a second Elish Norn in here, to be honest. Sure, homie. There's a block. They're gonna gain life, but later, once we start getting into our cards, like that life is not gonna matter. See what I'm talking about? Okay. So it's minus. Do I need a minus now? No, we're just gonna plus because we're about to spend 7 here, and we got the drag. Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is gross with Elish out. Yeah, we got to add a second one in. Yeah, we'll take. Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. We're about to rock 2 triggers off this. But first, we're gonna minus. We'll take this hard cast. 2 triggers from the Elish. Oh, impending draw. 2 triggers. Swing out. That's pretty gross. Sure. Oh, I messed that up. I didn't assign my blockers. Oh well, life happens. I didn't assign them properly, and for some reason I thought Ellis was a 5/7 and not a 4/7. So I should have definitely taken out those 2 bats. Yep, that's fine. Yep, we'll take that. Oh my God, Meat Hook is just broken. Oh, this one is this one's gonna get banned as well. Almost guarantee it. Let's see. Let's swing in first. No. Now we do the basic because that is 6. Oh, these triggers. Sure. Yep. Yep. It's minus. Take the beanstalk. Play the bean. Yeah, Realm Breaker is actually really good in the deck. I've gained 10 life. Play land. Play another Realm Breaker. Minus Realm Breaker. Take the Atroxa. This is just disgusting. We don't need any more life at the moment, so I'm not worried about that. The thing is like, even if they board wipe, having Massacre out is just like you don't care unless it's a Sunfall. Sure, draw card. GG, homie. And since they can't pay the life, you automatically get it back. That's crazy. Yeah, we'll just swing in. Yep, GG. All right, so both of those games, these are best of three, have gone pretty quick. Um, so I didn't see too much removal. Oh, there was that. They're just trying to pump and then combo off with Amalia. Okay. I'm wondering because we have Lecture Hall in here along with Ghostly Dancers. So, we don't really necessarily need that. Graveyard Shenanigans. Let's see. Yeah, let's put the Terror Sunders in. Two Defabricates, two Negates. I think that's good. We can take Surge out. Like, I don't care if they kill my creatures. It's more I want to protect Guild Pact. And that's about it. So that's really the only thing I really want to protect. We could drop a Cornucopia, drop a Beanstalk because we're drawing like crazy. Um, might be able to just drop the Chimmel, but the value off Chimmel is just really good. Yeah, and then one Ren. We'll rock that out. Yeah, adding in that Elish Norn really it pushed the deck over the top for sure. So we're gonna take out something. I want to say take out a Beanstalk, just run two Beanstalks because there's just so much draw, but could be something else. Mulligan that. Keep this. Put the Atroxa back. I hate when you're opening a hand, you don't get the card you want, and then you top deck the card you want. You're like, really, just one more card. Okay, so do the passage, and I want to get an Islin because I want to put this lead pits out. Put the Blooming Marsh out. Turn two. Because we don't have the mana base like we used to, um, Guild Pact is very important to the deck. Hmm. Sure, take three. Put this out. Impending. Draw two, discard one. Ooh, two Beanstalk, huh? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just get rid of this. I thought about keeping it because then, like, once we had that on the board, we'd be online for anything and everything. But I think we need to make sure that we have our two black for our drag to the bottom. Okay, so we'll do this. Fable Passage will be good. We'll draw into that right now. As long as they're 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're gonna have domain 4. Okay, cool. Oh, this is great. This is gonna be a hard board wipe. This is gonna be rough for him. Look at the white source that puts binding online, and then we board wipe. Oh, drag to the bottom, so good. I'm so glad I get to play that card again. I love drag to the bottom. It's one of my favorite board wipes. I have two Terror Sunders as well for any enchantment shenanigans or just hard removal. Let's play another Beanstalk. Play our land. Um, let's see. Yeah, we'll just pass turn. We can instant speed the Terror Sunder or the Leyline Binding, so we have options here. Plus we got a 5/3 blocker. Hmm. 2, so no offspring. Life each opponent loses 1. Okay. Let's just we'll Leyline Binding. And we can draw 2 cards. Pay 3 life. Go down to 4. That'll resolve. Cavern Souls, hit Avatar. Let's swing in first. See what we get. We can Cornucopia. Yeah, see, so we need a Cornucopia for sure. Um, let's do this for 3 impending. That way we have Terra Sunder mana open. Cavern and a passage. Get everywhere. And we'll pass. Let's get rid of the forest. That's fine. Playing a close game here with 4 life to 17, but we have hard removal. Okay. Just get rid of that. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Alright, we'll hit Avatar again. Yeah, we'll play this because we're going to make 3 creatures, so it's going to be really good. Then we pass. Hard. The sustainability of this deck is very good. I haven't really played against a control deck, to be honest, but control isn't really the meta right now, so but that's why we are running 3 Chimmels though, to be honest, too. 1 in the main, 2 in the side. Just in case. But Chimmel's that good that you would just run that anyway. Trying to figure out how I want to do this. Swing with this, keep up some blockers. I mean, we just play the Atraxa, now that I think about it. And we should be able to find a cornucopia. Oh, there's one. This cornucopia laying on the guild pack is going to get us back in the game. We'll take a Elish, take the meat hook, defab, and fable. Or no, we'll take a forest. Fine. Yep, play the cornucopia. We need to discard 4 cards. Drag to the bottom, that's 1. Drag to the bottom, that's 2. Land, that's 3. Um, and We'll take the meat hook because right now we just don't have the life for the meat hook, which is fine. I know there's only one in the deck, but we're pretty far ahead right now. What does this land do? Oh, okay. You're bats. Some bats. Let's play Elish first, because then that bat is just pretty much void. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gaining a life with the Traxa is fine. We could have played the ley line and gained the 5, but we gained 7 this way, which is a lot better. Sure. Let's see. We don't need to draw any more cards, so we'll just play this, get another land. Go 2. Actually, we'll get 2 lands. Yep. Play a land and we'll end. We'll discard 2. Sure. Don't need guild pack. Getting this deck and paper is going to be so expensive. It's ridiculous. Cool. Thanks. All right, let's just swing in. And that's game. All right. So that went by a lot quicker. These are best of 3 games. So yeah. That is 4 color Little Chop of Horrors. Um these new Overlord Titans are really, really good. All right. So that is 2 games, best of 3. You heard the sideboard commentary, you heard how the deck, you saw the changes. I love this deck a lot. It's going to be expensive getting this together in paper because I want to play this in paper so bad. Um, here in Japan, there's tournaments like every day, so I can play this a lot. Um, excuse me. So adding the Elish really pushed the deck over the top, as you saw. So I want to add another. Um, so this is the end of the video before we do that. Okay. So I appreciate y'all coming by. That's 4 color Avatar Horrors. I hope you like it. Test it out, but at the same time, be careful because this is a lot of wild cards, like a lot. And I've been playing Arena since beta, so I have a lot of cards and all that type of stuff that were saved up. So it's just easier for me to keep going through every set. So just be careful. There's a lot of wild cards in this deck. But if you've been consistent throughout the sets, you just have to get Duskmourn cards. That's about it. So um, yeah, and also check out my game ronin-tcg.com. I'd appreciate it. It's a martial arts based trading card game that I have in production. It's at one game store, and I actually have decks and everything. So yeah, right here we have Muay Thai and karate. There's Taekwondo, and then there's boxing that are actually pre-constructed precons. And then there's 4 other fighters: weapons master, judo, Krav Maga, and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So I'd appreciate if you guys go check that out. Uh, thanks for the support on that. Um, thanks for stopping by. Peace.